This video is going to cover the lower edges of the Bronco, 93 Bronco, to see any rust, corrosion, particularly anything major. That hole back there is in a plastic inner fender piece and is worn through. That's not rust. The frame down there has surface rust on it. Everything underneath has surface rust. It's not a serious kind of a rust. It's just surface rust. Moving on to the door bottoms and edges. Sun is out bright, but everything is solid. Nothing has any rust going through it. Scan along the bottom edge of the door here. This is the passenger side door. It's a drain hole. Another drain hole. And the third drain hole. Everything is solid. Okay, the rocker panel. Sorry, I got dogs trying to lick my face. Okay, that was the bottom of the passenger side rocker panel, bottom of the passenger side door. Now moving toward the rear wheel. At the rear wheel on the passenger side, this fender liner is plastic, so it's not going to rust, obviously. Rear wheel trim on the passenger side. No sheet metal corrosion or holes or anything like that. Plastic inner fender. That is the fender well itself. Other side of that is the inside of the back compartment of the Bronco. No rust there, no corrosion. Very dirty. Everything's very dirty, but it does not have any rust, the kind of rust that eats through things. Moving along the back toward the tailgate. A little bit of surface rust there. That'll sand out and paint up nicely. That is not serious rust, and it's not through. Okay, that's the back bumper. That's the wheel carrier. Sorry, I'm laying down. I'm upside down. So we're back at the rear tailgate and the rear bumper. Back to the passenger side rear wheel. That is the frame in there. Like I said, everything underneath has surface rust, but that is only surface rust. To really clean that up, you need to do a frame off restoration. You need to pull the body. You need to pull the body off of the truck and tackle the frame by itself. Most people, well, not most people, but a lot of people don't do that. A frame off restoration is the kind of thing you do when you're doing a show quality restoration. Okay, moving on to the rear tailgate. No rust, everything is solid. It's very dirty, but there is no sheet metal rust whatsoever of any level of concern. The weather strip is all very bad. That's got to be replaced on the rear tailgate. This little piece here is called end weather strip, tailgate end weather strip. It's a rubber piece that's that long, and I was surprised, but they are readily available for restoration work. Again, very dirty, crusty, but there is no rust on the tailgate. Nothing significant. Nothing rusted through. I've seen some videos on YouTube of trucks up north that are in salt country, and a lot of this is rusted out. The tailgate hinge area down in there. That's just dirty. There's no rust there. It's not rust, it's just dirt. Tailgate hinges. No rust. No rust going up the side of the tailgate, up to the fiberglass camper top. Back to the tailgate. No rust of any level of concern. It is very dirty, but no rust of any level of concern. You got some leaves down in there. This is all going to get washed. There's a little bit of surface rust there, but it is not deep and will easily sand out prior to painting. I'm going to walk around to the other side. Passenger side tailgate hinges again. Passenger side torsion bar. Quite dirty, but there's no rust on the bottom of the tailgate. Let's see if I can get a view inside the tailgate. I don't know if this will work or not. This is the bottom of the tailgate. Yeah, that little spot there is not rust. That's just a scratch in the dirt. This is inside the tailgate at the bottom, where a lot of rust exists on a lot of Broncos I've seen on YouTube. Passenger side. Let me move over to the driver's side. That inside is dirt and a little bit of surface rust, but it's very shallow rust and is not anywhere near through the metal. So that's inside the tailgate. Still back at the tailgate. I pulled this light out, or I removed this light to get in there to look at the wiring that routes from the main harness that runs along the frame from the front into the tailgate. The wiring there while I've been working on this back window. But there is no rust in there. Everything is solid. Solid metal. Nothing rusted through. No holes. I'm on the sunny side, so the pictures may be blown out by too much sunlight. This is the dent. This is the one bit of body damage that needs to be fixed. There is a dent. It's behind the rear wheel on the driver's side. A little bit of surface rust that should be fairly straightforward to repair by a halfway decent body man. So we're back at the rear wheel on the driver's side. No rust of any level of concern on the fender. That's just all very, very dirty and some lichen and algae growing on there that's going to get washed off when I give this thing a washing. I have not washed or cleaned it yet. Again, back up in there is the frame. Everything underneath has a good coat of surface rust. And if you want to do something about that, you're going to have to probably do a frame off restoration. Rear leaf springs. Okay, we are at the driver's side door. Again, everything is dirty and everything has surface rust on it underneath. But the sheet metal, these rocker panels, that's a very common rust out point if you live in salt country. And these are solid. There is no rust, no holes or anything like that. It's one of those body bushings up there. Those need to be replaced. Okay, the bottom side of the driver's door. I got the sunlight behind me, so I'm not sure how well this will work out. Again, drain holes. No rust. No corrosion, no holes. Okay, that's the inside side of the door bottom. Driver's side door. Outside bottom edge. No rust. Solid metal. No holes. That is the gap between the front fender and the door. The door is standing partway open right now. Bottom side of front fender. Okay, we're at the front wheel. Very dirty, but rust free and no holes in the sheet metal. We're at the front bumper. Inside the wheel well, that is all plastic inner fender liner. Front coil springs, has coil springs in the front and leaf springs in the back. That's all the factory. I've never put a lift kit or anything like that in here. Okay, front bumper. That's the front bumper inside there. It's a plastic air dam on the back, on the bottom of the front bumper. Still at the front bumper on the driver's side. This piece here is a piece I just put on. The original one was damaged, and this is a piece I picked up at the LKQ junkyard several years ago. Same time I bought this original OEM Ford bumper. It's in really good shape. We're at the front grille. The driver's side front fender. Ford used a water-based base coat in those years, and it turned out to be really crappy paint. Front cowl. That I'm pretty sure that's good. The hood does have some rust on it, but it's surface rust, and it's shallow, and it will all sand out nicely. Jump pack I'm using to provide power while I work on windows and things. I think I covered the passenger side fender already, the top of it, but just in case. And then the front cowl again. That down there is insulation on a AC line. That's all going to have to get torn out and replaced. This is an R12 AC based system, R12 gas, and it will have to all be converted to R134A. Bottom side of hood, solid, no holes, no rust. Just dirty and old and tired. The one area of rusty concern. Water has gotten under there, and this is the top of the windshield above the driver's side, and it has leaked. I don't know how good this video is going to turn out. We're in bright sunlight here, but that trim is going to have to come off, and then the rust, the extent of the rust damage underneath that piece of trim and under the top of the edge of the windshield along here is going to have to be assessed. That is the one area of rust concern on this thing. The rain channels on top, I believe, I can't see up there, but I think they're just fine. Top driver's side door edge is fine. Sorry, I can't really see my screen. I'm in bright sunlight. And down the driver's side door, metal is solid. Again, dirty, very dirty. Hopefully that cleans up nicely. I believe it will. Down to the bottom edge of the driver's side door again. Moved back over to the passenger door. The sun's not quite as glaring here. Metal, sheet metal, everything's a mess, but the sheet metal is all solid. Along the inside of the windows, nice and solid. Outside edge is solid too. Down inside here, I don't know if this is the inside of the passenger side door, and down there at the bottom you saw those drain holes earlier. You can see there's no rust down there. Very dirty. Really does need a good cleaning, but not rusted. And that's the new window lift and motor assembly I put in here. Bottom inside of door. Door latch inside. This is all inside. All that window channel, that's what the window rolls up and down in. All of that needs to be replaced. Everything in here is dry and brittle. don't think I got the top edge of the rocker panels. All solid, no rust, no holes. Same for the driver's side over there, all solid, no rust, no holes, just very dirty. Okay, I think I'll stop with that. I think that's a good look at all the edges where you might see major rust and corrosion problems, and the Bronco does not have that.